Hello friends, nice to see you again. Welcome to my new vlog. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Kate Sanderson. I'm an actor. I mainly appear in indie horror movies. If you look me up in the internet, that's what you're most likely to see. I am trying to also build this YouTube channel, and I'm trying to do a vlog every week. It comes out on Monday night, so thank you for tuning in. Tonight is the 31st of August. For me, that kind of means the end of summer. I know that September, certainly in the UK, which is where I am, September can be very hot, very sunny, so it's not really winter yet, although it also can be quite cold. I think British summertime goes on until some way into September. Don't know what day exactly, but to me, this is the end of summer. And it kind of makes me feel a little bit sad. I think there's something about the blue skies and the sun, and it just somehow makes you feel like anything's possible. Anything could happen. I could achieve anything. And that's probably just, that's no different in summer than any other time of the year. It just, your spirit feels different in summer. It's hard to explain. So I bought these candles. Let me turn around and show you. I bought these candles in B&M stores, I think at the beginning of spring or kind of Easter or something, and they were really pretty, and I never wanted to burn them, but tonight I felt I'm going to burn them in honor of the end of summer. I've had a really strange 24 hours. Yes, I have had a really strange 24 hours. I have a very beloved cat called Cookie, and he had a bit of a health scare a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, but he was fine. And then he got very sick again on Saturday morning, and I took him to the local vet, and they said he had pancreatitis and he had to go overnight to a special vet facility elsewhere in Essex, which was pretty scary because he's just normally got a very good constitution. But thankfully he's recovered overnight. He had a lot of fluids, and he's seems to be back to being himself again now. Apparently he should have a lower fat diet now, but whether he'll have that or not, I don't know. Anyway, also I had relatives coming to me today for a nice lunch. And although in a way I kind of wished that they weren't coming this week because of Cookie being in the hospital, in another way it was very nice because it distracted me, and I cooked up a nice dinner, well, with the help of Marks and Spencer, and I lit candles and set the table nicely, and they were so kind, and it was a really nice day. And then this evening the vet said that Cookie could now come home. He was supposed to stay there tonight as well, but he's come home a night early, so that's lovely. So he's home now, and that's great. In this vlog I want to show you some things that I've been doing to my house. I'm doing this house in Essex. I moved here just like at the end of January, and this week has been strange because some things which I've been wanting to finish for quite a long time or get on with have suddenly kind of matured, and I've been able to sort of do them. Some little tiny things, some big things. I've also done a kind of end of summer craft, which I really hope you enjoy. It was simple, but it does look quite effective, I think. Because of all the shenanigans with Cookie, I haven't quite finished all the things I'm talking about, but you'll get a good idea, I think. And then in my next vlog I will show you how those projects ended up. So I'm sorry for the long intro. I invite you to join me for the last week of summer. For me, this week, I hope you've had a wonderful summer and that you will enjoy seeing the things that I've been getting up to this week in my house. Okay, here's the first thing. Hello friends, I'm here in my kitchen, which I've tidied up a bit now, in my sack dress. You can't really see it, but no, it is very cute, honestly. It fits over the hips, so it's good. Anyway, for ages I've been trying to find like a what do you call it, a kind of planter for my busy Lizzie, and I've just looked everywhere and not found one. But today I went to a charity shop and found one that I think will be nice. So I'll just turn around and show you, and I hope you like it. Okay, so here is my busy Lizzie, and I've got these flower fairies at the bottom. I think they're called potty feet, and it's just had to stand in a saucer literally all summer. I mean, it's just taken forever. So I'll get my planter and put it in, and we'll just see how it looks. Well, I think that is a lot better. Yes, if I close in, it's just got a little bit of flowers on it. I think, that's Actually, funnily enough, the flowers are quite like the flowers. They're like the daisies on the little flower fairies. Interesting, it kind of matches. Okay, I think that looks a lot better. But honestly, it just took me so long. I went into Poundland and looked at their planters, and they all looked a bit clunky and kind of a bit modern looking, and I think this is good. And it was only like £1.49 in the charity shop, which I think is good value. So there you go. Summer is coming to an end, but I do have my flower planter. And oh, look over here too. I've now got bottles for my fairy liquid and my hand soap. So I'll just close up there. If you can see, the fairy liquid says dish soap, and then the orange one just says hand soap. I mean, I know obviously which is which, but when someone like a friend comes over or something, then they now know what's what. And yeah, I just thought those looked nice. It was much nicer than just the branded sort of fairy liquid bottle. So I mean, slowly it's kind of coming together. These like little salt and pepper shakers, these little kittens were given to me by my friend Nadine. I think she got them in the Isle of Wight. And there's my little Japanese man in the background and a dead fly. Oh dear. Okay, I thought I cleaned everything. You know, I find the insects are dying all the time at the moment. You sweep a shelf and then the next morning, like there's dead insects. So I don't know, maybe it's just the way of nature. But yeah, that's nice. Come over here too. Here I've just put my angel cards. They're kind of nice, and I pulled honesty and transformation, which is really good because that's kind of what I honestly want to transform this house. And then so the angel cards are in there, and then I've got matches, and in here I've got a tiny set of weights. My mum once got those, I think, at a car boot sale or something, but I just think they're really cute. And so I don't quite know what they'd be used for, but these angel wings are from my fairy on the swing. She got broken, so later on today I'm going to try and glue those back on. So that's good. And yeah, I mean, here's my California spoon rest that I got the other week. It's been really cute. And then let's look here. Got my resurrection plant. At the moment it is not obviously green. And then here got Florida water. I keep meaning to put this in my my water for doing the mopping. And then I've got well, my auntie's got echinacea. She's bought echinacea. And here is my little crocodile bones. So yeah, it's coming together. And here's the little fairy that I need to fix later. Yeah, her Cookie got angry because I was out for a long time one day and he knocked this over and broke it, so the wings need to go back on. And I need to also make a little arm for her because her arms got broken. But I've got some sort of polymer clay, and I'm going to do that in this video as well. So there you go. The kitchen is just slowly looking less horrendous, and you can see out there my new fence, which I shall be showing you properly later. But you know, the new fence is up and it has been really transformative. So this is all good, and I'm beginning to feel more positive about things. Now on this little windowsill here, I have got some basil, which I'm using for cooking. It's smelling delicious, and these are my 2 pumpkin seedlings. I don't think I can possibly get even a tiny pumpkin by this time, but I think tomorrow I will be planting out my seedlings and hoping that, well, we'll just see, maybe eventually, maybe like by Christmas we might get a pumpkin. But it was very thrilling to just try and grow them. And here's that sort of strange kind of perfume bottle I got in the thrift store the other week. I don't know if you saw that video, but it's quite sweet, really. I want to make some homemade like beauty recipes and stuff. And then 1930s vase, I think again was Nadine's, and some glass. And then I've got my spider plant and other flower fairies here. Don't know if those quite go there, but anyway, they're there at the moment. And yeah, and I'm running out of coffee pods here. I don't take coffee very often, but you know, when I occasionally feel like a coffee, it's really nice to have it. And yeah, it's all good. Yeah. And I've already shown you all my fridge magnets. Now someone gave me a picture of Elvis, so the king is now on my refrigerator, so that's nice as well. Ah, yes, it's very nice to have a day at home and to be sort of feeling a bit chilled out. Okay, right, onwards. Cookie really loves he loves chilled out new age music that always makes him relax and just keep calm. Oh, Cookie's a good boy. I mean, he loves being outside in the backyard, but it's recently been raining and it's a little bit colder today, so I'm glad he's inside and he's just relaxing, so that's good. Hello friends, well here I am in I think my smallest room in this house, but I want to have a little bed in here. It's a mess. I mean, what else is new about my house? This is my dad's collection of slides over here in the corner, and here in this corner is the bed that is currently here. I have to say that although I did actually ask them to leave this bed when I moved in, it's not my taste, and there's very little space under the bed, so I'm someone with a lot of stuff to store, so I don't think it is right for me. Mind you, I did get one thing else. I got this little hook on the door, which is a little bit tacky, but I love it. So anyway, but this room, I mean, it's a nice little room. I'm hoping my nephews or niece will come and stay here. But I have a new bed that's hopefully being put in today. And this is a nice bed. I'm hoping I can ask the local junk shop if they'll take it. It's quite, you know, if that's your taste, it's quite cool, but it's unfortunately not for me. So if that bed comes in, I will show you how it looks and make up the bed and try and tidy up in here because it is a nice little room. But I mean, as usual with me, you know, stuff just follows me around. Like, I mean, years ago, I got with a computer printer all these bits of photo paper, and you know, I didn't actually have I didn't have a photo printer, and I don't think the computer printed out photos, but anyway, I felt it was expensive, so I shouldn't throw it away. So now I still have it, and I've never printed off photos on those bits of paper. But I think sometime this year I will actually buy just a photo printer, and I've got so many photos to print off, I'll use them. But that's the kind of situation I get into, you know. I think I don't even some clothes in these bags. I don't even know. This is a mitt for doing tie bow. I think someone in my family really loved tie bow for a while, and I've got their tie bow mitt. Okay. Anyway, really hope that the gentleman comes to unscrew the bed soon, put in the new bed, and that I can make this room look a bit cuter. Okay, great. Well, good morning, friends. Here we are the next day. I'm going to turn around now and show you my new bed that's in this little room. And it's really cute. It's much nicer than the old bed. So here it is. Really nice bed by Grove. It's got these like scalloped, little scalloped bits. So a kind of pretend Victorian Edwardian bed, but it will be super in here. And I will now put on the sheets and dress it up, and then try and tidy up this room so it looks a bit nicer. Hallelujah. Okay, now I have put on a nice sheet and got a pillow, cleared away a lot of the clutter, put some cushions in the corner. Yeah, the one thing I've just realised is that I don't have a single duvet. I don't have a single duvet to make up the bed with, so I'm going to pop down to B&M stores now. Hopefully they will have a single duvet for sale. I'll come back and then I can make up the bed. And as always with this process, I mean, by making things clear here, I've made chaos elsewhere, but I think it is gradually improving. I'm gradually getting on top of it. So yeah, okay. Hello friends, well, I've kind of finished this bedroom for the time being. I will turn the camera around and show you now, but I'm pretty pleased with it. Okay. So here's just the curtains, which you saw already. Beautiful day outside. My mum made these curtains years ago, but they hadn't been used in our previous house, so you know they're just really nice curtains. Now, this is the bed, my new bed with my Laura Ashley bed linen on it. I got this duvet and pillowcase set from eBay. I think it was about £30 on eBay, second hand, but I think it's really pretty and I love Laura Ashley things. Partly because they are my vibe, but secondly, you know, maybe if I could afford very, very expensive linens and stuff, then I would like those instead, but I can't. So I think of Laura Ashley and that's what I do. I've got here a light from the 80s and it has glass bits that go in that triangular section, but surprise, surprise, I can't find those, though I have seen them since I moved in, so they are somewhere. Up here, I've got a sort of little heart-shaped wreath, which is quite sweet looking. Don't know if it'll always be there, but I just put it up now. And yeah, there's my sort of tacky hook on the back of the door, which I love. And then here, I have my certificate from the Delamar Academy of makeup, which I really treasure, though I'm not very good at doing my makeup, but it was lovely to go in that course, and you know, they gave us this nice certificate at the end. And then here's a portrait of me and my mum in my old room in our old house, so that's nice. It's a lovely picture. It was taken by a professional photographer whose name at the moment escapes me, but he's famous and has even photographed Prince William, so we were very honoured that he came and took our picture. I think actually they advertised for it on Manday Actors and he chose us. It was a series of photographs about families, and there's my little cat Mimi on the bed. That's nice. And then here on the radiator cover, now I must say I would like to get the radiator moved to being under the window and have a little desk and chair here because I think it's much more practical. However, in the meantime, I have like a magnifying mirror, which is very good. And then I have a little book about 100 things to be thankful for. And then I have some cards advertising a web series, the Beatrix Potter Trail, that I made with my friend Nadine Hanwell. And on the back, you can see her book, Kensington Gardens Kingdom. And that book is still available to order on Amazon, and it's a really beautiful book. And even features Princess Diana and all the elves and fairies of Kensington Gardens Kingdom. So I'll put that back there, yes. And I've moved one of my leaf babies from here. And then I have here a slightly bizarre collection of miniature books. I really like little books. I don't know why, sometimes they appeal to me. Like, look at this one here. This is cute. Oops. It says, Amateur Gardening, a Pocket Guide. I've bought this book on eBay and I love it. I've never actually consulted it, though I know I'm getting my garden into shape. I probably should. But yeah, I love that. And then there's one on castles and, oh, the official Johnny Depp. Oh, that's very learned. A book on Zen. A book on being engaged. Now, I have never been engaged. Maybe someone gave that to me hoping I'd get engaged. And one on weddings. I remember this book. I just thought this lady was so glamorous on the front. That's why I bought it. I've actually got no ambition to have a big fancy wedding, but it's cute. And then there are little cat bookends on the ends. I think one day I'd love to get Weems cats. Weems cats are about £1,000. But in the meantime, I could afford these from a car boot sale. They're very cute. And then I have a little swan with a pink candle and some roses. So little items that I like. And then in the corner, I've just got some of my cushions. It's from the garden, those cushions, but I really don't fancy sitting in my garden at the moment. So yeah, it's just a nice, bright little room now. And I feel that if I turn around here, my niece or nephew could come to stay. Maybe more like my niece. It's more her room, I think. I have down here some tie backs for the curtains, but I need to get the actual metal things put in to tie them back. So anyway, that's my room and it's kind of done for now. Okay. Hello friends. Well, it's the last week of August. For me, it's the last week of summer. This is a somewhat bitty video in which I'm talking about all kinds of things because I've just been so busy. Last night, I finally went to see the new horror movie Weapons, starring Amy Madigan, and it was absolutely fantastic. I really loved it. Amy Madigan is also the star of Field of Dreams, which is one of my favorite films ever. Of course, it was many years ago now. I think they made that in 1988. But it was a film of my sort of young life, and Amy Madigan is wonderful in Weapons. She plays this really scary old lady. And what I loved about Weapons, I'm not going to hopefully tell you anything about the plot that will spoil it. But Amy Madigan plays this very strange, nasty old woman. And what's really great is that she has supernatural abilities, but they never explain what is behind it all. They never go into any pompous thing about it being an ancient sort of Mithraic cult and there was the demon and blah blah blah. No, they don't explain any of that. And I'm a horror film actress. I've got nothing against that kind of thing. Of course, it's the sort of trope horror films have. I just love the way they didn't explain anything. She was nasty and there was no explanation needed. It's also at the end very, very funny, which is such a relief, in a horror movie after you've had all those jump scares and kind of suspense moments. And then finally, there are some really funny bits. I mean, it's a thoughtful ending, but I laughed out loud and so did the rest of the cinema. So I totally, totally recommend. The actors are very good. The little boy, forgive me, I don't know his name, who plays Alex, I think, the main little boy, he's fantastic. Indeed, everyone is really good. And it's such a refreshing take on a horror film. So imaginative, it's just great. I cannot recommend Weapons enough. So thank you very much. And as I say, this video is a lot of little bits put together because, well, I just explained it. And also, just within the last 5 minutes, my little bookcase has arrived for the hallway. And it's really cute. I'll try and go in here. So it's got some rather pretty frosted glass here. And then inside, there are 3 shelves, which I will fill up with DVDs and books very quickly. But, oh, now the sun's gone in. I think that this cabinet will look pretty with some flowers on top. And yeah, that's just really nice. Now I'm looking at it, I kind of wish it was a bit broader just to use up that space because I've got so many books. But however, it's good, and maybe I'll end up putting it somewhere else. But it's a nice little cabinet, and oh, look at the hinge. That's pretty. Very nice. Apparently it's made of walnut. So yeah. Okay. On to the next thing. Well, hello again, friends. I have now sort of filled up this little cabinet with DVDs and some, let's have a look inside. I've got a little bunch of books about sewing here that's on the right-hand side. Oh, and a book about hands and feet. That's cute. I must say I should probably try and put more kind of learned books at the front, but the truth is, it's a bit pretentious, isn't it? I mean, I do love my DVDs, and there they are. So there we go. And then at the moment, I just put a picture from The Wizard of Oz there. I just came across it and put it there. I will get flowers. I'll put flowers there. And then I've decided to put above the cabinet, which wasn't there before, this painting of my mum's from a street. It's of a street in Hastings. Yeah, I just thought it was nice there, so I put it there. Let me turn around and show you the other wall. Now, on the other wall here, just a little tiny difference. I've had this up before. This is a picture my sister did for me when I was 21. Just a still life of some lovely yellow flowers. And then here I've put up a poster I've got. It's a Broadway poster signed by everyone in My Fair Lady, including Richard Chamberlain, whom I really liked, and now sadly he's passed away. But I visited New York once and I'd love to get back, so I'm hoping if I see this poster every day, it will kind of inspire me to believe and kind of manifest I'll go back to New York. And then here is a little tiny poster from a play I was in years ago called Dr. Knock and the Triumph of Medicine. And I played the Purple Lady, and it was at the Etc. Theatre. I don't think I've ever been in another show at the Etc., but it's one of the smallest theatres in London. But I just was thrilled with this poster because it's so traditional and Victorian looking. It's really elegant. And then I'm afraid here we have some more gubbins, and oh, those are the hot orange roller disco shorts. I've got to send them back. I've got to send them back to Amazon. Oh, rats. And then here is a lot of bubble wrap from some things which I have unwrapped. So that's a bit more of my life, and I'm just glad it's kind of improving. Hello again. So here I am in my garden. It's windy, but you can see behind me I am now the smug owner of a new fence. If you've watched my channel before, you may have seen how awful and broken down my old fence was. It was just collapsing, looking dreadful. So I'm very happy that it's now pretty much all done. Let me turn around and show you. Yeah, there's the shed, and there's the fence going all the way down there. Looks really lovely. I know I need to put some protection on it to protect it, but there you go. Here is a bit where they ran out of the new fence and they put in some of the old fence, so you can see how the old fence looked. But what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to put some treatment on it and then paint it, and I think that will be good. And here is a little spy hole. If someone wants to spy on me, they can look in this hole. Maybe I'll cover that up with something. And here, I mean, if you saw my previous videos, this was like a big toupee of ivy over the back of my fence, or the back of the shed rather. There's a big cobweb here. I'll have to duck, but behind now, you know, there's just a place where you can store things. And yeah, I mean, this ivy was completely growing over and just doing me in, basically. It was like a big bridge going like from like here over to here. And you can see that it's all been pulled off, and I will be painting the back of this shed now. So that's kind of where I am, and now I'm going to get that spray and just show you what I'm doing, and that will be good. Okay friends, well, here is the Ultimate Fence Cleaner by Fenton and Boss, and I'm going to be putting this on the old kind of algae covered fence panels. If I could just paint over the algae, I really would do that. But okay, so apparently you should have 1 part of the Fenton and Boss cleaner to 3 parts of water, which, if my maths are correct, means I've got to fill up to the 4 mark on the squirty thing. So yeah, that's right. Okay, I'll try doing that now. Okay, and by the way, I used gloves to put that in because they advise you it's quite toxic, which makes sense. Okay, I'm here. I've got my Fenton row. I'm going to start plunging up and down, hoping this works. Okay, right. I think I rather hoped this would go in a spray, but it's more like a little tap or something. Oh well, maybe I didn't pump it up and down enough. I'll just try a bit more. Okay. Phew, okay friends, well, I've now put that chemically stuff all over the green wood. Hopefully it will work. And now, unfortunately for me, I feel I have to take my pumpkin seedlings and put them out into the flower bed. If you've watched my vlogs before, you may know that I've been trying to grow some pumpkins from seedling. Now, one pumpkin seed I just put straight into the ground, but unfortunately I was away a lot last week. It wasn't watered, and I think it just perished because it's disappeared. So now I'm going to show you my 2 pumpkin seedlings, and I'm going to go out and plant them in the ground. I must say I've so enjoyed having them on the windowsill. I'm going to be a bit sad. Maybe I should just try and grow some other herbs or something, so I always have something like growing there. I don't know, or some microgreens or something. But anyway, I'll turn around and show you now my pumpkins. Okay, these are my 2 pumpkins. As you can see, they've got little sort of Halloween holders in them. I think I should have planted these like months ago, but I just wanted to try, and I'm still hoping that we might get a pumpkin even very late in the year, though not for Halloween, or just the beginnings of a pumpkin even. Anyway, I'm excited that the seedlings grew, and now, is that a flower on one of them? Wow. It's either a flower or a very yellow leaf. So I will be taking those out and planting them into my flower bed with plenty of water. I shouldn't be away so much soon, so hopefully they will survive and we will have a little pumpkin vine, which would be really cute. Okay, fingers and everything crossed. I actually think this is a flower. My pumpkin seed has grown a flower. Wow. Oh well, maybe the pumpkin comes out of that pumpkin flower. I don't know. Okay, sadly, I'm going to now plant them out and really hope that they produce a pumpkin and are happy. Okay. Okay, I'll get some water. So here are my 2 plants, giving them loads of water. I would really like even a little pumpkin. And I will promise to try again next year. My seeds apparently will still be okay for next year. So yeah, really hoping that I have a pumpkin. And that's cool. Okay. Hello friends, well, it's at the end of the day of my trying to do my end of summer video. The end of day 2 actually, I was doing things for it yesterday as well. I am really tired, but I have a very nice craft that I've wanted to do for ages, and I'm going to try and show you now what I'm doing. I have my toner boom arm on my desk, so it should hopefully be able to look down on what I'm doing and you can see what I'm doing and I'll talk along. I first saw this idea on Haley Post's Moonstone Garden, so I don't know if she invented it, but it was a lovely idea. And so I will now put up my toner boom arm and show you this, and then I must say for me today, that's it. I mean, I've done a lot today. My house is still in a mess, but it's slowly getting better. It's slowly improving. So that's nice. So, okay, I'm going to set up my phone and show you my craft. Okay, friends, well, what I have here is a number of jars here, and what you can see around the edges of the frame, which I'm trying to put there so I don't go out of frame, are some there are some pressed flowers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of decoupage the pressed flowers onto these jars. So I'll put those to one side for a second. What I have to do this is something called Mod Podge. I have a jar that actually did have a candle in it, and it's just the candle's now gone. But sometimes, you know, candle jars are quite pretty and it would be nice to just reuse them. So that's basically what I'm trying to do here. And I have some flowers that I've unwrapped here. You can see them. So I will now, oh, it's hard to get them to the right position. Oh no, that's wrong, Okay. I'll try and, I've got a spatula, and so I'll put some glue on this one first of all. So I will take some of the glossy Mod Podge and I will put some just on here on this jar. Yes, I think this could be such a nice thing to do with all kinds of things, like beautiful scraps or even little sayings or something that you want to remember. Anyway, so there's just like a little flower that I'm putting on there. Oh, now, do you know what would have been good here? Tweezers. Tweezers would have been very useful to pick up the little flowers. Whoops, put that one on there. That's quite sweet. Okay, I'll just keep going around. And when you finish doing these jars, then the idea is that you put a tea light in them. Oh, a beautiful purple flower there. Is it going to glue down? Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's going to glue down. I'll try putting a little glue over it right away, actually. See if I can get it to go down that way. Okay. So also, I think I mean, as is typical with me, I mean, I bought these flowers on Amazon. I feel guilty I didn't go and press flowers of my own. On the good side, I have recently uncovered my flower press since moving in, so that's nice. And I'm glad that, and you know, I will try and press some autumn leaves. Oops, it's going under there like that. It's a little bit weird, that bit there. Oops. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll put one there. Oh, I feel this is going to be really pretty. Let's just keep going. Yes, I think, you know, in a sense, this is probably a good thing to do maybe in spring or at the start of summer. You know, maybe it's just a nice thing to do at any time. Oh, that shell pink is so beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, a little purple flower there. And we could have another purple flower there. But I just think sometimes in the dead of winter, it's awfully nice to sort of think of those summer days when there was, you know, flowers everywhere, and you know, things were green and nice. Here's a big fern. I'll be ambitious and try and put that on. Okay, is it gonna stick? Oh, I think it might stick. And can I put like another, I got another tiny little flower I could put here. I think so. I think that's gonna go. Okay. There's a tiny little bit of leaf that could go on there. And then, yeah, what I think you do is you kind of let this dry and then you apply another layer of Mod Podge on the top. Okay, I'll just try and put one more pink flower here. Okay. You know, I think that's really quite pretty. I think with a little flower coming through it. There's a funny little purple flower there. Put some more on there. Maybe it could go on there. I mean, the thing about the Mod Podge is that it dries clear. Or at least it should do. It should do. Okay. Okay, friends, well, here are my finished 5 jars. I mean, they're not finished. I need to put more coats of Mod Podge over them. So I will come back to these, if not tonight, tomorrow morning, and I will try and order the acrylic sealer because I don't want them to be kind of tacky. Yeah, like if I look at these ones, these red flowers, they really are kind of peeling off. I think they're going to need lots of coats, but they are so beautiful. I just wanted to include them. So yeah, anyway, they are gorgeous. So I'm happy with those so far, and we'll come back to them tomorrow. Okay. Hello friends, well here's one of the myriad of tasks that I've wanted to do for ages. Now they're being done. What you can see in front of you is my dining room curtains, and my dining room window looks right out onto a street. Now before I had the garden tidied up, well with help, there were some shrubs growing up there which weren't supposed to be there, but they were giving privacy. Let me open the curtains now. You can see out into the street. I've opened the curtains now so you can see that I'm looking right onto my neighbours' doorways. It's not private at all. I ordered lace curtains for this, but if you've watched one of my previous videos, you might have seen that they actually sent me a pair of hot orange kind of roller disco shorts instead of my lace curtains, which just wasn't terribly helpful. I've now ordered other lace curtains. They've come. I've got sort of tensor poles to put up the lace curtains, and I'm really hoping it's going to work. So I'm going to now try and put them up, and I'll let you see the result, if it works or not. But it's one of those things that's so simple, and it's just taken me so long. So hallelujah, I'm hopefully about to be on the verge of getting my lace curtains put up. Yes. Hooray! The lace curtains went up. It all seemed to work. I can still see my neighbours' doors and things, but I do think it's a bit more private, and maybe I'll get better at sort of finagling it round. I'll try and go a bit further back for a better view. So I've got my chandelier, which has I think only 1 or 2 bulbs left working in it, and then these are my curtains, and you know, they're pretty nice. So that's really a big improvement, and I cannot believe how long it's taken me to get that change in. However, onwards, and that's great. Hello friends, just a little update. I did finally put some flowers on the little bookcase, and although it doesn't seem like a big deal, probably to most people, for me it was just, it's a real improvement in the way I've been living and all the chaos I've been in, so I just thought I'd add it in. Hello again, friends. Here is my table with my Cannes Film Festival tablecloth on it. You can just see I put in some sunflowers and candles from my family when they came for lunch yesterday. So again, this is a big move forward of just living in a bit of a nicer way. I'm just glad about this, so I mentioned that too. So yeah, sunflowers for the end of summer. Yeah. Hello again, friends. Well, here are my jam jars and my candle jar. Because of all the stuff with Cookie and my relatives coming, I didn't actually manage to put more coats of Mod Podge on, but I will do that in time for my next video. And I do think they are very, very pretty, and they will look pretty with a tea light in them, but if I'm putting this video out tonight, there won't be enough time to finish them, so they really are cute. And yeah, I'm pleased, but that was my end of summer craft, and I totally advise you to go ahead and try it and reuse your old jam jars and things, and I will finish this in my next video. Okay. Hello again, friends. Well, if I don't have a better outro for my video, this will be my outro. I filmed quite a lot this week before Cookie got ill, so I hope I have enough footage for half an hour, and I really hope you've enjoyed watching. I'm going to be doing a lot more content, as I say, every week. I'm going to be going out and about some places. We're getting into spooky season, so everyone on YouTube seems to be doing like spooky crafts and stuff. I'll do maybe a little of that, but I hope I make it interesting. I'll try not to do what everyone else is doing. And so hopefully see you in my next vlogs. I've also got quite a few other vlogs before this one if you'd like to see them, and I also narrate ghost stories and poems and just all kinds of little things that I find interesting. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you again hopefully very soon. Goodbye.